Hi, everybody. I was waiting for someone to come bursting through my door there. So, for those who are here, this is a impromptu thing. As you can see on screen, we have SP3, we have Connor Casey, who you're familiar with if you watch anything on Fightful Overbooked, because SP3 is here literally every week. We do a show together, and Connor Casey is here pretty much every other week. He's on Pillar to Post, and he's somebody who actually shows up to this channel, unlike the reason we're doing this stream in the first place, which is Alex McCarthy, who didn't show up. And we had things booked to do Pillar to Post today because McCarthy assured me. Hannah is here in the chat asking questions. I just thought I was going to say, why are you the real? Just why are you the real?
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, but I am for real.
Why are you the real?
I am the real. Why am I the real champion? Well, that's because Alex McCarthy is a coward. But yeah, we don't have to get into that just now.
Yeah, we can. He's being a little bitch. So we were supposed to do the show today. I know you. This isn't Pillar to Post, SP3, so you're contractually obligated to be on this show. You're actually not.
I know. I wouldn't be here if this was Pillar to Post. If you would have went ahead and did Pillar to Post without Alex, that would have been against the clause that we made on FMC yesterday. So I wouldn't be doing this. But it's because when we're not on Pillar to Post, I actually like the both of you.
I was gonna call this like the Pillar to Post Summit, as we were gonna like talk about things and do character and work and everything, and I was just like, I'm too tired for all this. I've been up since 5 o'clock. Cat's throwing up. Slept on the couch. I'm way too tired for all this nonsense. So I'm just like, to get backtrack, we were gonna do Pillar to Post. Alex McCarthy assured me he could do today, and that's why I set it up for today. And then, of course, hours before, he's like, hey, not sure I'm gonna be able to make it today. He's got kids, like kids get in the way of everything. So I've been told. Sean Ross Sapp is violently ill, he said. So that's where he is, as I've been burying him. I gotta message him a second. So kids get in the way of things. But I had Connor and SV3. They said they would agree to do the show. I had John Alba also lined up, but I'm going to expose John Alba here. He said that he had a date last night. Let's send John Alba this link and see how John Alba's date went. He said he had a date last night, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it. But I see him tweeting, so obviously, whatever happened. And he's fine.
He already did his walk of shame.
Yeah.
He's already back home. And he's
Who goes on a date on a Monday night?
Yeah, it's supposed to be watching Raw, like Connor Casey.
Exactly. Well, that's true. But also, that's a weird day to go.
But SV3 and Connor agreed to do it. And then once McCarthy backed out, I was like, I want to do the Connor and McCarthy thing. I've got this all set up, and I just didn't try to put together another show. So I was just like, hey, you guys want to just like get together at 11 and talk? And then they were like, yeah, sure. So that's what we're doing. We're just here to talk. If you got questions, feel free to ask us questions. I'll probably just like send this link to a bunch of our pals and so they can pop in. This is going to be a complete train wreck of a show, but that's what all these shows are.
Send this to Palowski. I have never been on a stream with him, and he's one of my favorites.
Me either.
He's got kids too. See, like these people with kids, they'd be like me. I just shut the door. I tell them, hey, don't break anything, and I hope they listen.
Y'all need that one Heath Slater shirt that was just, I got kids.
I do need that one. I do. I sent it to Pulowski. We'll see. I just send this thing to like people randomly, and they have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
Hannah's in the chat. Do we want to bring her in?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Harsh. No love for the mod.
I love the conviction in which he said that. Absolutely.
Yes, I will send her. If John Alba pops on, I will send our pal Share Delaware the link here. So Sean Garner says, do you guys think Liv beats Shayna at Clash? SP3, what do you think with that?
I think that's a twofold question of do I think Liv will beat Shayna at the Clash? Yes. Do I think Liv should beat Shayna at the Clash? It's a no, because this is the one thing Triple H has been doing exceptional at just letting professional wrestling be professional wrestling, not worrying about the sports entertainment. But his booking of Liv Morgan has been the dirt worst. This has been the worst thing that he's done since he's been in power. The finish to SummerSlam was not good. It made her look weak. Thus, she got booed the following week on SmackDown. And then this past week on SmackDown, when it was just plain as day, just have Shayna Baszler stand tall because she did the move that broke Dakota Kai's arm, that broke Ember Moon's arm, that took out Nia Jax for months. She does it to Liv Morgan with an already injured arm, and Liv Morgan just miraculously comes up and does the worst stratisfaction I ever seen because Shayna Baszler had to put herself through a table that was 15 feet away. Like, he has been, it's very obvious so far that Liv Morgan is not really a Triple H girl. So, should Liv Morgan be Shayna? No. I think Shayna Baszler should win, but I think Liv Morgan will.
Connor, who do you think wins it?
I'm torn because you're right. SP3, this has really kind of been the big disaster over on SmackDown right now. It feels like a weird miscalculation of if we have Liv somehow manage to retain, even though she taps, she'll look like the underdog babyface hero, even though that finish really feels like it should have been reversed in that the heel should have tapped out but survived because they get the pinfall really quickly. And now you've got Shayna trying to break her arm, and I'm just like, are you trying to write her off TV so that it's Shayna and Ronda at the Clash, which I would love. And I also don't know where they're going with that. So I'm going to say that they're going to keep it on her just for the inertia of, hey, she's the champion. It's less likely that she loses it. But yeah, this whole thing has kind of been a mess.
I think Liv wins, and it's setting up for Ronda to eventually take it from her. I actually like what they've done with Ronda. I don't know if she's a babyface or a heel. That's fine. Make your own decision. She's a person, which is nice, instead of sometimes a robot as they've made her be a lot of times. So I think Ronda eventually takes it back from her, and she might get a big babyface reaction out of that. But I think Liv beats Shayna, though. I don't think they're gonna quite put the title on Shayna Baszler.
I think they're gonna cheer Shayna in Cardiff.
I don't know. I feel like Liv's gonna get good cheers in Cardiff.
I don't know anymore based on how she's been booked. Like that was like that was a near perfect segment overall, because you had Ronda Rousey come out looking like a badass, pouring the money on the table. Then she gives her biggest reaction she's given yet. Then she has the whole interaction with Shayna Baszler, which was the most interesting thing about that segment, where she was like, you used to be a killer, because why is Shayna Baszler, a person that bit off Becky Lynch's neck, telling her you need to follow the rules? And then Shayna cut a pretty good promo. Then Liv sounded more comfortable. She cut a really good promo. And then the attack on the arm was good. And then they ruined it with the ending. Like, it was just like, I was so confused. I've been so confused by the booking of Liv Morgan since Triple H has taken over.
I mean, A-Shock says, how does Liv recover? How are you booking Liv out of the current sort of situation she's in? Connor?
You steer into the skid and turn her heel. I think the promos. The promos have unintentionally kind of pointed in that direction, where she's addressing the crowd, booing her and saying, "Yes, thank you for calling me out of my shit." It's like, I want to boo you more now. This isn't redeeming you. So I think just play into it and turn her.
Oh, what do you think, SP3? How do they get Liv out of this?
Yeah, it's like really tough, because based on WWE history, it's like the best thing usually to do is just go with the reaction she's getting and turn her heel. But I think Liv Morgan is a really good underdog babyface, so they have to find somehow to get heat on Shayna. That's the way to kind of get Liv back on the right, type of reaction, because right now she's kind of going to be a tweener, and I think maybe a triple threat with Shayna, Ronda, and Liv might be the way to go coming out of this. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, probably the best decision is just going with the wave and turning her heel.
I would not turn her heel, because the A Shark says it feels too easy and a cop out. I agree. Like that's what they like to do, just turn her heel. Like she was built as the underdog babyface, and that's how fans got behind her. You got to somehow just recapture that. I don't think they expected her to get booed the way she did after the Ronda thing. Like I think they did sort of expect that to be like, oh, Ronda's being a little bitch about things and being prissy and whiny. Like she got pinned, but because the tap out, maybe the tap out should have come a second after instead of a second before. Like
I thought the tap out shouldn't have happened at all. I thought the right finish for SummerSlam, and this is, I don't always think this is the right decision, but it was the right decision here, is Ronda get herself disqualified because she can't beat Liv. Liv gets over that way because Ronda can't beat her, and then the heat of the finish is on Ronda because they wanted to accomplish a few things. They wanted to accomplish Liv going over and protecting Ronda. So the best decision was Ronda getting herself disqualified because she can't beat Liv, because that actually puts over Liv, and then the heat would have been on Ronda.
I think the tap out should have come after. I'm fine with the tap out. Like if she gets the pinfall and then like immediately taps afterwards, because then she still gets the pinfall. It comes after, so it's just like, well, she tapped out to get her to release the hold. Like, you know, that's you're supposed to tap out so they release. Like that's why she tapped out, but she already won. And then Liv still like maintains some credibility and still gets cheered. Ronda can still snap of like then that she has like not a complaint, because now she has the complaint of, well, she tapped, you missed this. She just is mad that she essentially beat herself and snaps because of it and becomes like a jerk about things and just goes off the rails. I think that would have been a better plan than tap before, because Ronda looks justified in being mad with this, and Liv doesn't look as good. As far as like how they can save it, have her beat Shayna, have her fight from underneath a lot against Shayna, and then do some type of gimmick match with Ronda. But the problem is like you're probably going to have Ronda win, and so Liv probably doesn't look good coming out of that. I think this is almost, it might just be sort of shot, especially if the end game is Ronda winning. Like this title reign just might be shot for Liv, and then you end it and you try to rebuild her after this. But I wouldn't just turn her heel and just like, oh, you people are now booing me, even though I worked so hard and you cheered me, and you know it was the referee's fault, not mine. I don't need that. Please don't do that.
And then there's Matt Payne in the comments saying, what do you do with Charlotte when she gets back?
Have her beat everybody.
I have a better idea for how to handle her, because the big complaint is that we never know what to do with her if she's not involved in the championship. Well, let's force that. Let's have her lose a match where the stipulation is she can't challenge for any title for a year.
No. What is this?
And then make her have to do something.
No. Why are you going away?
Story, Jeremy.
No, why are you going away from tried and true WWE booking of put all the belts on Charlotte?
Because this is a new regime.
That's what the people want.
The
new regime loves Charlotte Flair. Are you kidding me? Triple H loves Charlotte. # bow down. He's the king. He loves this reign of Charlotte Flair. Are you kidding? He's probably the one that pitched all of this.
Maybe.
No, the goal is to just put all the belts on Charlotte. Have her beat Bianca. That'll go over well. Have her beat Liv. That might actually go over well. Have her beat whoever the tag team champions are when they win it. Have her beat Roman. That should be the end game here. Put all the belts on Charlotte.
The money match. Yeah. The unstoppable versus the unstoppable. I mean, with Charlotte, I thought that the logical thing for her to return was to verse the underdog babyface champion of Liv Morgan, because that was kind of her white whale that she always wanted, because they had that match during her initial run on SmackDown where she lost, and then she got on commentary like, I'm going to come back better than ever. And then she was off of TV for like 8 months and started taking baths on air, and returned in a wedding on Raw. So yeah, you got to follow up to that, and that would seem like the logical thing to do, but they have to kind of go against the wave of these Liv Morgan reactions. And like I said, the best thing to do is to get heat in some way on Shayna Baszler, because I think you don't want to mess up what you have right now with Ronda. Even if the decision at SummerSlam was to turn Ronda heel, right now she's getting bigger babyface reactions than she's gotten since January. So you kind of just have to go with this kind of tweener badass that she is right now and continue to get those big reactions. But you have to find a way to get heat on Shayna Baszler, because the biggest issue with SmackDown is I don't know what any of these characters are. I don't know what Raquel Rodriguez is, because it's not the
smiles
Raquel.
And has a great lat spread. That's it.
Exactly. I don't know who she is. They started off a show with 4 women that I don't know who they are by definition. If someone asked me, who are these 4 women? I was like, well, Shotzi used to ride a tank and shoot balls at people, but she doesn't do that anymore. Xia Li used to have a cool entrance where she was like a Dragon Ball Z character, but she doesn't do that anymore. Raquel Gonzalez used to be the muscle and kind of like an enforcer and like a female Diesel, but she's not that anymore. She smiles now. And Aaliyah
has no personality.
Is Aaliyah. That's what she said on Breaking Ground. She's like, I'm Aaliyah. She was on Breaking Ground. Like she's been there for
yes,
she's been there forever.
She was in the developmental for 7 years.
Yeah, she's been
7 years.
Legitimately, I don't remember who I guess it was Bloom. Like on the show was like, well, who are you? And she's just like, I'm Aaliyah. I'll never forget that. That's all I can think about when I see her, because she hasn't really done enough to like make me forget that she's Aaliyah.
Who's in developmental longer, her or Dawkins? Because that's got to be a close race.
Oh, I feel like
he was in it forever.
I think it's her.
But I think
because Dawkins get in Ford? They got called up in 2019, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're basically the same amount of time, because she came in 2013. Well, I think maybe she has the longer. Yeah, I think she has longer by like a couple of months.
At least
it was with 7 years. Profits where they were NXT champs, but were popping up on Raw, but weren't wrestling.
Yeah, that was 2019. Yeah. That was when Heyman was in charge.
Yeah, exactly. Because Heyman was the one that brought them up. He was big on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loves them. A-Shock mentions Lacey Evans. I mean, she's got a personality. At least I know who Lacey Evans is, even though
exactly. That's what I was like. Triple H's been keeping her off television. That's the only character outside of the title picture that I actually know. She's
is that a character you want on television?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I'm
really. Lacey Evans stan SP3? I'm just learning of this. My God.
She's an American hero. I'm all here for it.
And I know SP3 is a Lacey Evans stan. I don't mind her as much as a lot of people seem to dislike her, but I also don't have like much of a use for her. I do like her character. I mean, I wish they would like stick with one or the other with her, but she commits to it. I'll give her that. Like, she totally commits to it. Triple H he's always had a good reputation when it comes to like developing female talent and giving them like definition when it comes to character. I think we'll see that more with Raquel, who is just smiling. Hi, I'm Raquel Rodriguez, and I just smile a lot. And then Shotzi will maybe get back to the tank. I know she's teased it a few times. Somebody mentioned something about Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte, yeah, A-Shock. Triple H had Charlotte as NXT. Yeah, he did. And then like he's like, don't worry about it, guys. It's gonna play out with EO and who else was involved in that triple Rhea. Yeah, it's gonna play out here. Don't worry about it. She's gonna be back, and it's all gonna pay. And then like, he loves Charlotte. As I'm saying, Charlotte's gonna be fine. Gonna be right back where she belongs. Top of the card, baby. Top of the top for the great Charlotte Flair. Bunch of questions here. Appreciate it, guys. Asking some questions. Matt Payne, I'm trying to get to them all. Biggest roster shakeups you'd like to see after the draft. Give me one person who you want to see move from Raw, SmackDown, or vice versa. SB3.
I want to see Kevin Owens on SmackDown.
Really?
So we can. I want this championship quest to go, and we get our Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as tag team champions. The fact that it's been 6 years since these two men have been on the main roster, and they had a whole run where they were a tag team, and they never even got a shot at the tag team titles, is just blasphemous. So I need that to happen. And them versus the Usos just makes so much sense with Sammy's story. Although, KO is going down like the direction of being a heel, but I like Triple H. Triple H is a very much a shades of gray type of guy. We see it with Ronda. I think we should see that with Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens wants to get the tag team titles, the best person to do it with is Sami Zayn. So put him over on SmackDown. And plus, in my opinion, his best run like in the last 5 years since he hasn't won a title was on SmackDown when he was there and he had his feud with Roman.
Connor, give me a move you'd like to see.
Move Seth. Well, so if the draft is happening, I feel like that implies that the brand split is actually going to be enforced again.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, give me Seth over on SmackDown so that we can keep that Seth Roman thing going.
Roman should be on both shows. He's the champion of both shows.
They, like I said back on Pillar to Post, they can fix that real quick. Just have Drew beat him and then split up the titles.
Yeah. I would like to see. I like KO on SmackDown. I'm not mad at that. I love that segment between KO and Drew last night. Problem is, I don't know who's on which show anymore because they're all on every show. Like Drew's technically a SmackDown guy, and if you told me like Drew's part of Raw, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Like, I feel like he's been on Raw enough to where, yeah, he's part of Raw.
That promo he gave last night was better than most of what he's done on SmackDown.
It was so good. That whole segment. Owens was great in that segment. The match was really good. Drew was good. I didn't like Drew still like coming out on top after Owens beat him up and then he beat up the Usos. Like Usos, I mean, they got beat by Drew and Madcap on SmackDown, and then Drew just like took him out, even though he'd already gotten laid out by Owens. I didn't like that. Like Drew can afford to. It was a 3-on-1 attack. The man can afford to like stay down off of that. He doesn't need to stand tall.
I know that the back injury is legit, but I was kind of hoping they were going to do the apron bomb.
Oh with man, Drew. No, because they're trying to. I mean, you'd have to take him out of. Potentially take him out of Cardiff, but you'd have to take him off TV because they're trying to like reestablish that as a killer move and not just hey, let's do this for a pop. So yeah, I don't know if you could pull that off. Maybe here's my new booking idea. Drew McIntyre beats Roman Reigns in Cardiff. Next night on Raw, Drew comes out. He gets big celebration. I guess it'd be 2 nights on Raw, whatever. It's a big celebration. Kevin Owens comes out. He's like, fight me. Put one of these titles on the line. I don't care which one. Put them both on the line. Drew's like, all right, I never back down from a challenge. Kevin Owens wins both these titles. Powerbombs Drew, gets him off television so he can go rest up. You get Kevin Owens as the double champion. Give me KO is winning all the titles. KO and Charlotte just ruling the whole thing.
I'm here for that. I'm totally here for that. I totally agree with you with last night. That was like the best part of the show. That promo was electric. They had great chemistry in their matchup. The match was a banger, and I even liked the finish. I was like, neither when they said this was a match, I was like, neither one of these guys should lose. Yeah. So the DQ finish was perfect. The only thing that wasn't perfect is once again the Usos looked like chumps, and they looked like chumps on SmackDown, losing a non-title match to Madcap Moss.
They can't beat Madcap. Like you can't just pin Madcap.
Yo, I was like, you could have pinned Madcap and then did the post match that they did with Drew standing tall. They could have accomplished both of those goals, but they had to have Drew win. I was like, oh, come on.
And you're better than this, H. You can easily write around that of, all right, Drew and Madcap, they were feuding last time I checked. Like they were feuding, but Drew, even in the loss, could have been like, I respect you coming out there when no one else would. Like you didn't go work our way. Like they're the undisputed tag team champions. They got their whole lives together. Like, but I still respect you. Like, thanks for that and everything. And then like Madcap still gets a little bit of a rub. I don't like when champions lose. I know Sean got a bunch of shit on Twitter, but like, I don't like when the champions lose to non-title matches. And I definitely don't like it when tag team champions lose to non-established tag teams. I understand if it could be 2 single stars who are like top tier stuff, but Madcap was trying to kill Drew McIntyre earlier this year. Drew was trying to kill Madcap, and they've never teamed together. I don't need them beating tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, especially if it's not, if it's not leading to a title match. Like you'll get the people that, of course, the WWE fans that will be like, well, AEW had the Young Bucks lose to Penta and Eddie Kingston. That led to a title match. They have never had one of their champions lose a non-title match and not have it lead to a title match. The reason that people are complaining about the Usos losing there is that it's Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss. Not a lot of people complained when it was Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. By the way, Drew McIntyre is 2-0 with two different partners against the Usos in tag team matches. And, Madcap Moss was there to lose. There's no other reason to have him
there. Yeah. And SP3, you bring up AEW, and it reminds me of, whenever like an impromptu tag team tries to take on FTR, they lose simply because it's FTR. But when you put CM Punk and Jon Moxley together, they manage to pull out the win. Because it's those two. It establishes, hey, this is a hell of a tag team, and it took two titans of the singles division in order to beat them.
Yeah.
I love when that point gets across.
I hope the Usos get some revenge on McIntyre on Friday.
They're just going to get booted when they're in Cardiff. Like that, we know where this is going with that.
Who are they facing in Cardiff? Like
they're not booked yet.
Oh,
they're not booked yet. Yeah, they have, like I said, when they beat the Street Profits, that was back-to-back finishes that just baffled me, because that was the match before Ronda and Liv. But that finish when Usos won, I was like, then why the hell did we do the Street Profits Usos again after they had a classic at Money in the Bank? You thought adding Jeff Jarrett and no stipulation was going to make it better? There was like no reason to do it. It was just like, now where does the tag team division go? I'm a little bit happy that now we got Hit Row as a babyface tag team that they can build up eventually to go against the Usos. Even though that match doesn't, blow my mind, at least it's something. At least it's better than what we were. Because I'm sorry, I've seen the Usos in New Day. It's always good. Sometimes it's great, but I've seen it about 437 times. So I don't need to see it anymore.
I'm just gonna say this about Hit Row. Like, I love them as a group, and I love the act. They're really missing something without Swerve.
Yeah,
like they need a ring general in there as a fourth guy.
I made the
100%.
comparison. It's like going to a Destiny's Child concert and there's no Beyonce. It's like going to an NSYNC concert and there's no Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Wow, that's slander against JC Chazette. Okay.
Hey, Top Dollar is a good JC Chavez, but he ain't no Justin Timberlake.
I'll never forget JC trying to steal Justin Timberlake's moment at the MTV VMA Awards when Timberlake's doing his big medley and NSYNC comes out and they do their stuff and JC's like, baby, baby, baby. Just like just wasn't part of the song or anything. He just did it after the whole set was over. And it's like, JC, he's singing for that contract, baby. He's trying to get that max deal right here. He knows millions are watching. He's trying to get that deal off of this. Bless him. H-Shock says, is that shareholder SEC WWE story true? Which one? I don't. Yeah, they did a bunch of SEC filings. So if you get more clarity, we can answer that.
Yeah, I had to look up what sufficiently complete meant in like business terms, because I'm like, wait, you say complete? Is it complete? Is it done?
I
consulted Brandon Thurston's Twitter as always.
That's the easiest thing to do. Just whatever Thurston says, just take it as being correct. Matt Payne says, which AEW stars do you want to see at Wrestle Kingdom? Connor?
Kenny. As soon as I posted this story, I went, Kenny Ospreay, make it happen. Because
they could meet in
that one for years.
They could meet in the trios thing. I don't think they are. I think they Kenny or not Kenny.
They meet in the semis if they both win.
Yeah, I think Ospreay and Aussie Open are losing though. Like the Aussie Open guys feel like they're there to take that loss because they're facing a Death Triangle. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're gonna put, because Death Triangle just lost to Andrade and Rush as well. So it feels like a Death Triangle win. Aussie Open guys are there to take the loss. But Ospreay returning to AEW TV certainly gives a little hope that like, hey, Kenny and Ospreay may happen. But who do you want to see from AEW at Wrestle Kingdom? SP3.
Yeah, the initial thought was definitely Omega Osprey because that's the match that they just seem to be building to the most. But definitely would love to see John Moxley back in New Japan proper in Japan, and I want to see CM Punk versus Tanahashi. Tanahashi doesn't have an obvious match for Wrestle Kingdom, so I think that's the way to go. Like with Osprey, he has plenty of options at this point, honestly, because they did the whole angle with Shibata at Forbidden Door, and when that happened, I was like, you could do Shibata versus Osprey at Wrestle Kingdom because they're only going to save Shibata for that big show, in my opinion. So that would be a good one to go to if you can't get Kenny over. But I would go with Punk versus Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom.
Will Shibata take a hidden blade? Because that's the thing that took out Ibushi.
They'll tease it. I don't know if they actually want to like risk pulling that shit off though. I mean, Osprey, like I'm pretty sure he was joking when he said it, but it might have to be true where he was like, get this guy to sign a waiver because I ain't gonna be liable for killing. Osprey don't hold back on that shit.
No, he doesn't.
He kills people with that move. And you're talking, I know Shibata's like somewhat cleared and stuff, but there's a difference between going in there against Will Ospreay and going in there against Yu Uemura or whoever he faced, Ren Narita. Yeah. I can't remember.
Like, it was Ren Narita.
Yeah, like there's a big difference between those two matches. They're just doing exhibition grappling with Zack Sabre, where there's like no striking and stuff. Yeah, that you don't want to take a lot of Ospreay's offense if you got those kind of issues because he murders people with some of that stuff.
Very true. Oh, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. as well. I think that should be because Sabre Jr. keeps saying in his promos, he was like, if you really want to prove you're the best technical wrestler in the world, he's like, you got to come to Japan. I'm not going back to the U.S. I hate the U.S. I'm done with it. Come to Japan now. So.
And Zack is so annoying with that was not technical wrestling, which is why I lost.
That was not Tekka's.
I don't think that. I don't think CM Punk and Tanahashi's happening at Wrestle Kingdom. I think that Tony is gonna kind of kibosh that one. Like, yeah, if we're doing this match, it's happening because that's basically what he did with Moxley and Tanahashi. He's like, yeah, this ain't happening unless I'm promoting it and I'm the one kind of getting the gate off of this match. And I think it's gonna be same thing with CM Punk and Tanahashi. My expectations are a little bit lowered for Wrestle Kingdom. Like, it's cool. Like Moxley, he's been there, so like, yeah, I could see him doing it. As far as like a first time guy, I could see Danielson, which I realize doesn't like fully lower expectations. I could see Danielson. I think they might send Cole and O'Reilly and Fish over there. They've wrestled in New Japan before. They've done ROH stuff with New Japan. I could see them going over there and doing something.
If they do, I demand that Adam Cole get his old New Japan theme back, which is just him shouting Adam Cole Bebe over and over. It's the greatest entrance theme ever.
That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, that's kind of where my expectations are Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish doing some stuff with New Japan more than we're gonna see CM Punk or even Kenny. I mean, Kenny's a possible. I mean, anything's possible, and it's Wrestle Kingdom. They got too nice to fill. Like, but my expectations, I try to keep that stuff low. Honestly, I don't try to go too high with that. Let's see what other kind of questions do we have here. Who takes one of the titles off of Roman? We did this on Pillar to Post, but is any opinions on this changed?
It's Drew. Get all the way out of here with that carrying cross nonsense.
Just hater.
Get out of here with that.
Why are you a hater?
Because I am a hater. Because when Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano are both telling you suck, while Triple H is still the one calling the shots, something's wrong.
Hater. SP3. What do you think with the title?
I'm still thinking it's Cody. I'm not convinced that Drew is gonna win these titles in Cardiff. I know that's probably the best decision to get the big roar of 70,000 people in that stadium, but it just doesn't feel like to me he's the right guy to end this 2-year run.
If Cody were coming back in like a month, I'd believe you, but that's still just so up in the air that we could still be sitting here in November going, when's Cody coming back? And I don't want to wait that long for them to finally move forward with the Roman thing.
Cody might be coming back in a month. You never know. You know. You
Does
never
he
know
have
with Cody.
adamantium like John Cena? Because I'm not sure.
It might be. The man wrestled with that shit. Like, I ain't putting nothing past Cody Rhodes. Like, the fact that he went out there and wrestled with that torn bicep, like, I fully believe he'd be back in the ring. Then, like, he was teasing Money in the Bank for Christ's
was,
sake.
I really wanted him to win it with one arm.
He was totally teasing that, and I think he was teasing it because he was very serious about wanting to do it.
He teased Cardiff. He did the whole. He retweeted the Clash of the Castle tweet with the eyes emoji, and then deleted it. Like, no one was supposed to see what he did. Like,
he's very serious about this. Cody could be back tomorrow night. He's just on Dynamite, but still under AEW contract. You just show up on Dynamite and just like, everybody watch. Sorry, I meant WWE contract. Everybody watch SmackDown on Friday.
Yeah, when you asked about the Wrestle Kingdom thing, for some reason Cody's name popped into my head. I'm like,
he'll show up.
Crazy.
He doesn't care. Bless that man. He doesn't care. He'll show up. HX from last night, they claimed shareholders saying that without Vince, it would fall apart. WWE put out a statement. That was like part of their 10Q filing, where in the statement, it was like, yeah, without Vince, like there might be some adversely affect more publicly traded terms that they like to use. Go ahead.
They were like, it might hurt our ability to make popular characters,
popular
creative storylines. I was like, has these people been watching the product for the last 6-7 years? Like,
the thing is like, because they're publicly traded, because they were asked about this today. Brandon Ross from Lightshed, who like actually kind of like covers and watches the television compared to all these other shareholders who don't care. They're just looking at the money. He asked about like the creative aspect behind it, but they put out these statements to essentially just warn shareholders. And so like, if you say these things of like, well, Vince has been here 40 years, this is all these people know, and if you say like, hey, this is a big change, could adversely affect these things, the shareholders can be prepared for it. Like, oh, okay, well, we understand if the stock might go down and everything now, but if the television is good and the stock rises like it's been, then it's like, well, shit, we're good. Everything seems to be running smoothly with Triple H and Stephanie and Nick Khan. So it's very much a let's lower expectations and then try to over deliver on this stuff. And, if things do go down or anything like that, or people are unhappy, then all right, you'd be like, well, we told you it'd be a transition period. Give us 6 months, give us a year. We'll turn this ship around. So it's all about just their perception in the eyes of the stockholders. But WWE, they said that before. They said that like
they were saying that while Vince was there, was like, if he ever leaves, we're fucked.
Yeah, they've put that in statements before. So this was basically just them reiterating that now that it's actually happened. And again, this is what we have to tell and show our stockholders who don't actually watch our television and just care about our bottom line and care about their own bottom line. So and I would put too much stock into it.
And with the deals with NBC Universal, Fox, Saudi Arabia, they're still going to be raking in record profits regardless of what happens on television.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, what's funny is Triple H is kind of playing with house money right now.
Yes.
Where he can really try anything. As long as there's a product on TV, nobody cares.
Yeah. He's like, he got inherited this, this house that's making a whole bunch of money, but all the furniture is very shitty inside. So all he's doing is redoing the furniture. He's just interior designing it. That's all he's really doing at this point.
And he's going out to the dumpster behind it. He's like, they kept throwing away these chairs. Put them back in.
Yeah, like, we got to get back these chairs in here. These chairs are really nice. We can use
this
these.
Chair says Dakota Kai. Put it back in.
Tony Khan already rated that dumpster. He's like, oh shit, today's some really nice
Malachi Black.
Some really nice pieces of furniture. Let's get all of this. D'Lo Dick says, do you think the LFI Elite main events tomorrow, are they open show? I think they saved Kenny's thing for the main event. You can open with Danielson and Garcia.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the being the Elite tease with the opening sound of Kenny's entrance theme hit right as the camera cut? That was really cool.
Yeah, they're trying to tell you without telling you. It's very much similar to the CM Punk thing of like, hey, we don't want to like outright say we've got CM Punk, but we're going to tell you enough to where you tune into this and you're happy that he's back. And that's what they're doing here. They're very good about delivering on this stuff. They don't tease a lot of stuff and then come up short with expectation. And I'm sure it's happened. But for the bigger ones, if they're going to tease something, they're typically going to deliver on this. They're not going to do this and then Brandon Cutler's.
Yeah, I was worried about that, and I'm like, no, that's WWE thinking. Get that out of here.
Yeah, like if they do that, the backlash would just be way too much. Like if they try to pull something like that off. So I don't think they're doing that at all.
I just love the subtle teases that they did, like the Backstreet Boys shirt, the Eminem sneakers, and even last week on Dynamite with Hangman saying you need a partner that hasn't turned their back on you. Like those little things, and just the overall storytelling of the Elite Saga. I think 5-10 years from now, people are going to be talking about this because it's the first time in wrestling that I can truly remember where they really they are teaching you real life lessons and really like emotionally in-depth layered character work and stuff that, you know, for longtime fans, you just pop over. Like I popped when Hangman turned them down because the whole story of Hangman started with him asking the Young Bucks to be in his corner at All Out 2019 and they turned him down, and he's turning them down to be their 6-man tag team partner to be in somebody else's corner at All Out. So it's like, it's so great and so layered that it pops you for the people that pay attention.
It's good stuff. It really is. I know people did like threads on Hangman and Omega leading up to the Full Gear match, and I'm sure the story ain't over at all. I mean, there was even at Full Gear where the Bucks like gave the nod to Hangman, like they got to circle back around to that at some point. And I don't know what happens with Kenny and the Young Bucks, and he sees that nod. Because even Kenny, when he's like, I haven't watched the match back yet, so I assume he's had a lot of downtime. I would imagine he's watched his match against Hangman Page, and they'll address that at some point. You still have to pay off with the undisputed guys.
You got to address the fact that they murdered Adam Cole. And they even mentioned that at All Out. They're like, anyone who can get me is already dead. And then
dead. Yes.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to play off of here. And then at some point, Cody's going to be resurrected, and that'll really tie up.
And then MJF's going to cut a promo about, no, you don't get to just come back and be embraced by everyone. You turned your back on us.
Is MJF coming back? Where are we at on MJF?
He's coming back. They don't. Whenever like there's a spot for him, because what was the big joke right after he left? It was like, oh, right after this happens, the Wall Street Journal report breaks, and then Vince leaves, and then Triple H takes over creative. It's like he got pushed so far into the background so quickly because a bunch of other stuff happened in June and July that I kind of don't blame them for just saying nothing and waiting for a bit of a lull period. And he goes, surprise, bitches. I've been here the whole time.
People have said All Out, like you got Omega coming back, Danielson's back, Punk's coming back. Like, do you just bring them back at the end of All Out? I mean, they did the double entrance last year at All Out.
I think it depends on if they're gonna go ahead with the Punk heel turn, because I know Punk's like he's out in interviews being like, oh, it'd be a waste for me to give up the connection I have with fans if I turn heel. When in reality, we all know his best stuff has always been when he's a heel. So I think they recognize that too. So if he's heel, what do you do with Max, who is the ultimate piece of shit?
I think it should probably be at All Out, because if CM Punk's beating Moxley, you need a hook. You need a hook after that that's going to make people keep watching, because I know there's going to be a lot of people that are disappointed that Moxley, did a lot of work to make the AEW World Championship important again. It feels like the top star in the company has the title now, and when he went face-to-face with Punk, it felt like the two top stars are going at it, and this is the most important match coming up in wrestling. So I think you need a hook going further after that. So MJF returning, laying out CM Punk in his hometown, and getting cheers might lead to the Punk heel turn. So you can kind of put all those things together, because I feel like wherever MJF comes back, people are going to pop for him.
Jeremy, Sean Rossington's sap has returned to Twitter, just so you know.
Yeah, he said he got sick. He ate some bad stuff. I mean, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for exposing more of my friends, but yes, he said that he wasn't feeling well this morning. So
hope you feel better, Sean.
No, absolutely not. I need you to feel better at 8:30 when the financials call was going on. That's when I needed him to feel better.
Yeah, can we vote to never have those be first thing in the morning again?
So here's the thing. I don't mind it being at 8:30. I hated. So it used to be, been in this game a long time. It used to be 10 o'clock on Thursdays, 10 a.m., which is a nice little time. Like I'm cool with 10 a.m. During the pandemic, they moved it to 5 p.m. on a Thursday.
After the market would close, yeah.
Absolutely hated the 5 p.m. on Thursday, because I'm trying to wrap up my day by 5 o'clock. I don't need to sit for another hour and listen to Nick Khan and Vince McMahon barely get words out and give more color on things and just say words that I don't understand because I'm not invested in any of this stuff. Obida, whatever these words mean. Yeah. Sure, that stuff. I don't care about that. I've never seen a CM Punk match before Revolution, so I don't know anything about Obida. What a day that was over the weekend. Regardless, back to the point. So I've been wanting them to move it off of 5 p.m. And so when they're like 8:30, I was like, yeah, great. I'm up by 7 o'clock every morning. 8:30 is fine. Like I'm locked in. I'm cooking by 8 o'clock. So I'm good with 8:30. It was the fact that they like announced it on less than 24 hours notice that was like, okay, what are you guys trying to pull here? Like, you're not giving anybody a heads up on this thing. So, and then they went through it. I was cool with covering it. Usually we have a system of how we do things with these financials calls at Fightful. And because Sean was out and we did not expect him to be out, our system got a little bit broken, and that led to some frustrations for me. But we eventually all got it handled. But I'm cool with 8:30. I'm very cool with that.
I think the 10 move is fine.
I'm fine with that too. Just don't do 5. 5 is annoying. Anything that happens at 5, I'm annoyed by it. Senior Nerd says it's about time for WWE to take out NXT 2.0 off the USA Network and bring it to Peacock so the shows be taped and botches can be edited out. Oh, it's a nice little question. What do you think, SB3?
I would love that, honestly, because NXT, should not be on mainline television. Like, it's for a while there, it was especially not comparable to the other 3 shows, regardless of the quality of Raw and SmackDown. That just felt more big time than a bunch of developmental guys who are making mistakes, on national TV. I think the best thing for them, is to have the shows taped, and especially with what's going on with NXT UK, with those guys not having anything booked for the rest of 2022 in Great Britain. If they're going to ship a bunch of guys to the Performance Center, then you probably should make it a tape show, and then you can spread out the talent. You don't need to have the talent like your Braun Breakers and your Tony D'Angelo's on the show every single week. When NXT was taped in bunches before, you would have 1 or 2 guys having matches this week, then another set of guys having matches this week, another set of guys having matches the 3rd week, and then do the whole formula over again. You can have promos with the same guys every week, but having a match with those guys that are just developing it's good to get them reps, but on national TV you can't hide a lot of their weaknesses.
What do you think, Connor?
So this reminds me of an interview I did with Johnny Gargano back at the start of the year. And I asked him, had NXT stayed as it was through 2019, not reacted to AEW, getting put on TNT, not, expanding yourself to 2 hours a week, becoming a live show, being on USA Network. If you had just stayed as you were, would NXT black and gold still be a thing right now? Would the 2.0 reboot have needed to happen? And he said that honestly, it's too big of an event for if you pluck that domino, you have no idea what happens next. And he made the argument that, even before Dynamite was announced on TNT, NXT was already looking into, are we going to start going full on tour as opposed to always being in Full Sail? They wanted to get on USA. They wanted to get on TV. They wanted to expand before the AEW thing happened. Now, people will claim, oh, they're not connected. No. I think one accelerated the other. I think the moment that the Turner deal got announced, they went, okay, we got to get this thing rolling with USA, which is why there was that weird couple of weeks. Hey, John
Alba's here to yell at me.
Hey, John.
But they had those weird couple of weeks where NXT, like the first hour, was on USA, and then they bumped back to the network. That was just to get people used to that idea. I think that if they were to, I think they can go back now. I think that this experiment has proven itself to where, you don't put AAA baseball. John understands this reference. You don't put that on NBC. You put that on the small regional local channels that you got to dig through to find them if they're there at all. You don't put them right up. You don't put the Kansas City T-Bones, head to head with the Kansas City Royals. Exactly who. They're the independent AA team based out of my hometown.
Oh, okay.
You don't put them up against the Royals head to head and ask him, hey, beat them in the ratings. It's not going to happen. And like SP3 said, you've got guys who are learning. They're going to make mistakes, and that doesn't need to be for all the world to see. This is the on the tightrope that they're walking. You're allowed to have the net underneath it for now. That net can be taken away once they're on the big stage.
Jonathan Alba, how are you?
Tired.
When are you not?
You don't.
What
sleep.
time did you do your walk of shame?
You don't sleep. You don't sleep, John Alba.
No, well, that's exactly why I'm tired. I don't sleep. So
you should sleep. Why are you doing this stupid show with us?
Didn't you hear
take a
Triple
nap.
H's
nice guy.
You are a very nice guy. You're trying to get me in trouble with Timothy Orton, though. I don't know how I feel about that.
I have not tried to get you in trouble. In fact, I defended you.
You name dropped me on this podcast.
I name dropped you because I was defending you because she's like, they're making shit up. I didn't say this. I'm like, Kim, you said all this stuff. Go back and listen. She's like, no, they're just making it up. And I literally clipped the clip for her and sent it to her. And I was like, you said this. They transcribed it. And she was
will
like,
she and Randy come to my wedding?
I can ask.
Thanks.
There you go.
Great.
I don't know how well that's going to go over, but I can ask. I think Randy might be feeling a little sore around that point, and it's not from any extracurricular activities at Madison Square Garden. So
he doesn't have to do anything at the wedding. Just show up, say hi, be great.
And a few RKOs, and off you go.
I don't even need to do any RKOs unless he does it John Alba. That'd be great. But otherwise, I don't need him to hit any RKOs. Just say hi.
Are you hitting V triggers at your wedding?
No, we're filming. I want to film bits at my wedding, but I don't know how that's gonna go over. I want to film stuff. We did a Fightful challenge fantasy draft the other week. SP3 Cher and I. Yeah, so I want to film bits with that at the wedding.
So John, are you gonna tell us what's up with the Monday night date?
No, let's not talk about this.
Let's not talk about that.
No.
Okay.
Inquiring minds want to know.
No, I'm sorry, John Alba. I'm sorry. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna talk about this. I'm sorry. Let's move on. I don't know if anybody else had any questions. Cora Jade's heel turn. That's what the people want to talk about.
Trash.
Cora Jade's heel turn. What are you drinking? What is this? What are you drinking, John Alba?
It's noon where he is. It's
noon. It's noon. It's 5 o'clock here, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Legitimately, what are you drinking?
It's not important.
I don't know if John Alba's doing character work or not, but it's tremendous. What do you think of the Yankees, John Alba? Heard you've never talked bad about them in your life.
I for one, have never.
2-8 in their last 10. Is that right?
It's not what you want.
Not what you want.
Why am I here? Aren't we doing a show? What's the?
No, we were supposed to do a show with Alex McCarthy.
Wait a minute. You weren't even gonna tell me. I just sent you the link I had to do today to do your program. You weren't even gonna tell me that we weren't doing a program.
Oh, dear.
We are. I mean, you're here. We can like, we're just bantering about, John Alba.
This is abusive.
This is great.
As Peter Griffin would say, this is morbidly obese. Are you kidding me? Go ahead. What do you want to know? What do you want to know, Jeremy? What are we here shooting the shit about?
Cora Jade's heel turn. That's what the people want to know.
I cannot say this kindly enough. I literally have no thoughts on Cora Jade's heel turn. Like none whatsoever. I may as well provide some value of being here, right?
You already have.
You really have.
The NXT program that's on television. I'm really curious now that we have this regime change, if we see a shift in direction at all in terms of its presentation. I don't anticipate that we will. It seems
yet, so
it seems well. I would imagine they're prioritizing the main roster right now, as they should be. But I would imagine that a lot of the edict that came from the changes in NXT likely came from the Nick Khan side of things in terms of marketability and branding. So I don't particularly see that changing. So I think when I came in, you were talking about viability on over-the-top service versus cable. The one thing that WWE has proven time and time again in the last few years is that it's not going to walk away from money. So if and understandably that's a business. So if USA or NBC Universal or whatever entity is offering money to broadcast a show that is extremely cheap to produce, it's not on the road, it's produced in-house, I don't see them walking away from that under any circumstance, truthfully.
Makes sense.
They should air it. They should air it on NBC. Put NXT on NBC and keep the main keep Raw on USA, whatever. Why are you giving me that look, SP3? I don't agree with Connor Casey.
Where would NXT fit on NBC?
Exactly.
I don't know. Saturdays. They got spots open on Saturdays.
It would be a Saturday show, but they would probably draw a lot more still doing self-produced content.
Put it on before football. Put it on before football on Saturdays.
Like a lead into a Notre Dame game?
Yeah.
I don't know
This is what we need.
That seems very secular.
Yeah.
I don't know what that word means.
That's okay.
You can't use these big words with me, John Alba.
Understood.
John, I'll ask a question. How was Starcast weekend for you? I was gone for most of it.
It was pretty.
What are you opening?
I obviously was on air for like a long period of time, so it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I very much enjoyed getting a chance to interact with so many great wrestling fans. I enjoyed getting to see you. I enjoyed getting to see many of my pals. I enjoyed seeing a throwdown go down on the floor of Starcast.
Oh yes.
I enjoyed hosting the.
Someone read this label so we know what Jonathan Alba is drinking.
Someone pause it.
The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy.
You got that from Nashville.
I did. The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy panel on pay-per-view. It's a great podcast.
Is that a whiskey?
Yeah.
Of course.
Are we allowed to drink on these shows?
He's got different bottles. He's got J-Bo. He's got J-Bo, ladies and gentlemen.
What's happening?
I was told there was going to be a program here today. There's not a program.
Well, blame Alex McCarthy, as always, for banter.
Yeah. So here's what happened. Jonathan Alba. We were going to do Pillar to Post at noon. And Alex McCarthy was supposed to be here because he's apparently the champion. I can't strip him of his title due to contractual reasons. And then Alex McCarthy, of course, says, I can't do it. I have kids. Like, that's a viable excuse. And so he wasn't able to do it. So Connor, SP3, and I just decided, well, let's just talk a bunch of shit for however long we decided to do that. And so I've sent this link to people, but I did not clue you in that there was no show. So I just sent you the link and it was like, here, just come on and talk with us.
So the Pillar to Post title is in a state of abeyance.
No, I am the
Connor's the interim champion.
I am the John Moxley of Pillar to Post.
Okay.
And like John Moxley, I'm kind of getting tired of that interim tag.
I agree with you.
One of my accomplishments.
Yeah. That's going to be a really interesting situation. Come all out. Because
Connor against Alex McCarthy, I think Connor's going to kick the shit out of him and all out, honestly.
Well, there's the whole idea that Punk is walking into Chicago. He's going to be beloved, all that stuff.
It's not Chicago with Schaumburg, but continue.
You know.
I know what you mean.
But we learned hard last year that it was definitely not Chicago, and it was very much Schaumburg. But the thing about that is John Moxley has certainly earned his stripes this year more than ever. So you could make a good faith argument that John Moxley should walk in there and leave as the unified champion. I think you can make a very good faith argument in that. I think you can make a good faith argument that John Moxley's the Pro Wrestler of the Year for 2022.
He is. He is. There's no argument in my opinion. I think is.
I think Dax would like a word on that conversation.
He's a part of the best tag team.
I got a text from Dax that FTR was not on my Mount Rushmore on the Hardy podcast this week, and that the Bucks were. And boy, howdy, did I hear about it. But
at least he listens. That's good.
Absolutely,
he listens to the podcast.
But no, it's all good. But Dax has been amazing. Speedball Mike Bailey, I think, has been one of the best pro wrestlers in the world this year. So, yeah.
I don't think Takeshita's had a bad match on television.
No, but I don't know. No. Pro wrestler.
He's been breakout, but it's a number of things for Wrestler of the Year. It's where you're at. It's the type of the big matches that you have. So that's why I think Dax, you can make an argument, but I don't think there's an argument against John Moxley. With Dax, you could say he's a tag team guy. Most of his best matches have been in a tag team. With Moxley, he's done tag team. He's done 5-on-5s, blood and guts, anarchy in the arena. He's had great singles matches. So
I will say back from what he came back from too.
Exactly.
I will say this. Just like last year, I feel like Danielson could swoop in and take these last 4 months and make a really strong argument.
I would love that.
Because he did the exact same thing last year. It was like he had a great start of the year, great end of the year, but we gave it to guys like Roman and Kenny because of their tenure.
Yeah.
John Alba, can you beat up Dax Harwood?
I'm not going to do that because I don't think I can.
Okay. I didn't ask if you would do it or not. I just wonder if you could.
I think Dax Harwood is a pretty tough man.
He is.
Seems like it.
So I don't think that would benefit me in any way to even attempt to do so.
You could go viral.
I mean, yeah, for all the bad reasons, then I'd have Reddit trying to cancel my career again, like they've done 3 times. And
can we fight Reddit?
I would love to fight Reddit.
Blood and guts. It's like all of Reddit. Just like fighting
blood and guts.
Blood and guts. I'd put all 3 of you on my team. I mean, I'm sacrificing a spot by putting Lambert on there, but
yeah, true. Very true.
You need someone to take the beating at the beginning. So
I'll take the bumps and everything.
You gotta take the heat.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Take the heat.
That's fine.
Yeah, John and I on the comeback for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor! I mean, he's the brick house. Connor's coming in and just wrecking shit on everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this new Connor Casey character is going to be.
Thank you, John.
There's a lot of rumor and innuendo out there in the internet world about who truly is Connor Casey, and that was a unique suit you had there.
Oh yeah,
it was very unique.
It looked big. Was it not yours?
No, it was mine.
It looked big on you,
and it's actually a little tight on me.
Oh,
because he's ripping through it now.
He is. Yeah, he's very
Rip Tyson over here. You got just hulking up.
Very
Muscled
swole
up.
man.
Doesn't need to manage. He could get in there
He
and
filled it out.
yeah.
No, I am purely a manager. My neck would very much like to remain intact. So that's
Tell me about it. My neck has been sore for 3 days after the bump I took this past weekend.
Yeah, you got punched. How
I
was
got
that?
punched. Well, so it was getting punched, but what a lot of people don't realize, if you've ever seen the Monster Factory ring, it is a high ring. It is probably a good 5 feet off the ground, if not more than that. And so I took it, and then I take the punch, and I spin, and I go down. And the way I went down near a chair. The chairs were really close to ringside, so I tried to like avoid hitting my freaking head on a chair. And I guess the way I turned my neck, I was like, oh my God. And then there's this little kid who was dropping F-bombs at me as I was on the ground. He was kicking me. And I'm like, all right, I am not doing this again. So,
Did you
good
punch
luck
the
with your
kid?
bumps, buddy. Did I punch the kid? No,
Yeah.
I didn't punch a kid. That's called assault.
Not if it's pro wrestling. You can get away with anything.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen the stuff they've gotten away with on pro wrestling?
I have.
Kidnapping, like setting people on fire, electrocuting balls. You can do anything.
Sleeping with the
within
fishes?
confines of pro wrestling.
I think those people are in on the gag.
yeah.
You could have. The kid might have been. Is it mean as he was being?
He
You don't
was
know.
being very mean. I told his father to wash the kid's mouth out with soap and wash his underarms after because he needed
Did
to.
you?
That's what I told the father, yeah.
That's tremendous. Cher Delaware is complaining that she is not here.
So add Cher Delaware.
All right, hold on. Let me send Cher Delaware. I gotta go soon.
Are you kidding me?
Well, we were gonna do this at noon, but then we moved it up to 11 because I was like,
You
I gotta.
moved it up without telling me. I've got a 10 milligram melatonin floating through my system. So I just took 3 shots.
Take a nap,
on air.
John Alba.
What
Take
are
a
we
nap.
doing here?
I'm letting you take a nap. You should be thanking me. You should be thanking me. Yeah, I booked you for a show that I canceled, so now your time is free, so you can take a nap.
Me.
But now you can take a nap.
I don't
See,
nap.
I've been saying for weeks though. He runs a sloppy shop. This pillar to close. You should have heard my promo last week.
And now my wife, Cher Delaware, wants to get in the stream. There she is.
There she is.
What's
Hello.
up, Hannah?
What are you doing?
In the
She's
darkness.
She's
I'm on the clock, as you can see.
Of course.
So are we technically. Well, I am. I don't know.
I-
These
I
other losers don't have jobs.
Hi,
I'm on my lunch break.
I got a job. I work late. Night here.
How are we, sweetie?
Don't talk to me.
Wow.
Are
we
doing
gonna-
it right now?
You guys got 3 counselors right here.
Is this for
Yeah,
real?
it's okay.
After everything we've been through. Do you see the freaking drama you caused, Jeremy Lambert?
What did I do?
I'm a professional in divorce.
Wow.
What did I do?
Wow. You
This
are a
is like-
divorce professional. This is fair. I'll give you that.
This is like when the fiance just accuses me of nothing, and I just get in trouble all the time.
Yeah, that's marriage.
That is marriage. Get used to it. I'm not even married. I know that. I mean, I am married.
You're not married.
Hi, honey.
Will you stop saying that?
I just go by what the internet says.
No, you
Has the internet been saying
perpetuate
you
it.
two are a couple?
No,
I
no,
perpetuate
you
that?
perpetuate it.
Are you kidding me? The
Yeah.
queen of perpetuation?
Wait,
I
is this the
literally-
internet rumor that you two were an item?
I think it was on Reddit.
Okay.
I
It's on Reddit?
literally posted about my future husband changing their last name to my last name to piss off my ex-husband, and you said I did not agree to this. No one mentioned you, Jonathan. Nobody.
Jonathan Delaware.
John Delaware really sounds like a porn name. Like
John Delaware.
That could be
I
John
mean, that's
Delaware.
close. You know, it's a rock star name, John Denver.
God,
What
don't
happened?
say that.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
John Delaware is actually kind of a cool name.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lambert would love to marry me.
I've kissed you. Your hair,
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is this?
I'd marry you, Jonathan Alba. I'd have to explain that to the person I'm going to marry, but
That's a fair point.
yeah.
And is that the Big East hoodie that was on sale in Nashville? Yeah.
Is.
Nice.
I also have the Becky and E, all of the shirts that they came, but they're in larges because that's what Emilio sent me.
Ah.
So they're like dresses.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What has happened?
Sorry,
to
I feel like I
channel,
killed the whole relationship
the
bit. That's my
show.
bad.
Sherry, you look so sad.
I'm
I thought,
super sick.
why are you? Jonathan Ross Sapp is sick. What is happening?
You need me to run out and get you anything from Walgreens?
Look at that. Such a nice man.
That's so sweet.
That is sweet.
I'm so sweet to her.
How can you be
A
mad at this
romantic
man?
gesture.
So sweet.
That's a romantic gesture.
There are times where she's really sweet to me, and then there's times where she is not.
Yeah, that's marriage.
Like right. Yeah, exactly. It is marriage.
When am I not nice to you, Jonathan?
Like the beginning of this stream.
You're very mean to people, Cher.
I am not. Connor Casey, have I ever been mean to you?
Not that I can recall.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you I think you like
Exactly.
Connor. And you're very you're mean to me. You're mean to John Alba. You're mean
You
to
actually
Sean.
literally commented on YouTube. I'm looking at it right now. I don't like John Alba.
Yeah,
I would
I
qualify
could-
that as being mean.
Is that being mean or is it being
I would say so. Yeah.
being honest?
Given that I literally put a ring on your finger, I would. That is.
Wait a second.
You're
What?
not
Which
wearing
one?
it. That's not my problem.
Which oh no.
Oh no.
Scandal.
It was an aquamarine ring as well. It was beautiful.
Birthstone, and this would be Reed Birthstone.
It was an aquamarine
And I
ring. I got it from I Hate
I wear-
Hate Steven Singer after listening to Something to Wrestle one time in 2018.
I wear men at wrestling shows will leave me alone because they'll think I'm married. That's why I wear these rings.
When is y'all's wedding? Or are you already married? Did you
We
just like, do
actually
it?
got a discount by doubling up at your wedding. So
Oh, nice.
Oh, very
Is
nice.
Luther
Well
doing
done.
your ceremony as well?
I thought you weren't even going to his wedding.
Jonathan Alba, you're not coming?
where did you get this information from? I literally never said that to you.
I don't. Old Pearl asked me to be his date, so
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
you didn't even ask your wife to be
That is
the
unbelievable.
date to Jeremy's
Jeremy, I
wedding?
never
Oh,
told her I wasn't coming to your wedding. I don't know where she's getting that from.
Cher's breaking the news of my wedding to me of who's coming and who's not.
Better question: are you going to be Joel Pearl's date?
That is a good
Good
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
it's nice.
his wife doesn't want to leave the baby.
Joel Pearl's not over 40. Your
Neither-
list.
He looks nothing like that like Cash Wheeler. What are you doing?
Jonathan's not even over 30. So
Where are you?
Jonathan Alba is twice the men of everyone though. So
Yeah.
technically he is
not-
over 40.
I have an Emmy.
you were invited with Erica. I was
I
in
was invited with Erica. This is a fair point. It was given a +1.
my invitation said my name and then that the guest must be 40 plus.
That's what your invitation was.
Very nice.
We had Pops on the invitation. Connor Casey was listed as interim pillar to post champion on his invitation.
No,
Oh my goodness.
SP3 will get his invitation in like 5 weeks when he's finally back in America.
Then I'll get
what are you
a
doing?
longest stay pop.
What are you
Huh?
doing in the UK there, brother?
Working, being a father, just the usual. I can
Like,
do
what
this
brought
anywhere.
you to the UK?
He's supporting
Oh,
Wrestle Talk. It's what
we
they yell at
bought-
the beginning of every video.
just a
That
train.
is true. Bought a apartment out here so I can make some money in the UK
Mm.
You
outside of
flipping
Wrestle
it?
Talk. Yeah, flipping it.
What was
That's
I?
what we do.
Interesting.
I don't remember. Sorry, my arthritis is all flared up, so that's why I like keep moving. my
I'll
feet.
give you a massage as you need.
Oh my
Hey.
god! Shut the fuck up.
That was so hostile.
Wow.
Oh no. All right.
Oh my
We're gonna
god.
end this before we get sued for I don't know what, but
Spousal
That seems-
abuse.
yeah, yes.
doing that, and every time John says anything on Twitter, they're gonna post, "Oh my God, shut the fuck up, John."
That's the story of my last 3 relationships, anyway.
Cher, do you want to plug anything?
No, not really. Don't follow John Alba on Twitter.
Nobody does. It's fun.
John Alba, do you want to plug anything? I hear you do podcasts. Everyone, check out the Matt Hardy Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast every Friday on ad-free shows, and the other podcast.
I don't even know. I think I host DDP Snake Pit now.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, I've hosted like 11 of the last 12 episodes, so I feel like I probably host that show now.
That's fair.
That's cool. I get to talk to Jake the Snake Roberts and Diamond Dallas Page. Yeah, Top Guy Weekend in Chicago. Sorry, Hoffman Estates.
I'll see you in Chicago, John. We'll see each other.
Fake Chicago is what it's called.
Yes, fake
I'm not going to be there.
Interim Chicago.
I will have a car, so I will not be stranded this year.
We'll have dinner. We'll have dinner again, guys. So people can get bad.
Please.
I do not do that.
Connor Casey, do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, follow my stuff on Comic Book. The Brian Gewirtz interview goes up today.
Are you going, Connor?
No, not going. Not until they start putting us in press boxes.
Yeah, Connor's going on strike against AEW.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That would be greatly apprecited.
I will not be there. I know you're all very sad.
I am sad. We could have made up for karaoke this time with me actually having a voice. That would be.
We're gonna do karaoke at my wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
At your wedding, I put in PTO for the day after today.
There you go. See, Cher knows what she's doing. The other dorks need to take a day off from the wrestling news on Monday. I told you nothing's gonna happen if Sean and I aren't working. Nothing happens in the world of wrestling if we don't work.
Never. I mean, the one time I tried to text Sean so he could scoop Vince McMahon's retirement, he was watering his fucking lawn.
He was touching grass,
so he could touch grass.
Everyone keeps telling him to touch grass.
He didn't even know.
Very important.
Minutes later, like, who the fuck waters their lawn for 45 minutes?
A big lawn.
It's Kentucky. They're weird.
Very small lawn.
Yankee Power. I'm not doing the wave during All Out. Don't be a jabroni.
SB3, do you want to plug anything?
I don't know what's going on here. Just follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can see me on FMC on Mondays. Pillar to Post when Jeremy, follows my directions.
Like,
and
your guy won't show up. I can't help
demands. When my demands are met, you can see me back on Pillar to Post, where I am the real face of the show, the uncrowned champion.
I can't help that.
Probably.
Thank all 4 of you for doing whatever this was today. It was a wrestling conversation, and then John Alba showed up and just decided, here's what we're doing.
I was not asked a wrestling question during the course of this.
I asked Cora Jade. I asked about Cora Jade's heel
I
turn.
gave you a response to it, and then came from that. So I don't know what to tell you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back later on at some point with something. Bye.